Day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope to know X. It's time for Profit Review. Now, last week we discussed the Christmas Week 1 Rust Store for 2025, and that means today we're here to talk about Christmas Week 2. So sit back and relax, I'm going to start yapping. So, it's another Christmas Rust Store. It's another batch of holiday skins, and by default, you'd imagine that these skins are going to drop off. Well, the biggest irony is that this Rust Store appeared literally on Christmas Day, December 25, 2025. So, technically speaking, the very next day, wouldn't these be out of season? In theory, yeah. Now, you might debate, oh, Christmas goes on until the New Year's Day and whatnot. All right, fair enough. But yeah, point still remains. It's just another batch of Christmas skins. No pay-to-win skins this week. So let's just remind you, last week, we saw a pretty cool-looking sheet Medabador with transparency and glow-in-the-dark. We saw some pretty interesting-looking white tier 3. And you might even bring up the cheapest glow-in-the-dark bearskin rug we've ever seen. So last week had some pretty cool looking skins. This week though, it's just Christmas skins. Not to sound mean or anything, I mean, quite a lot of interesting collection continuations. You got Neon Snowflake here, you got Ice Vortex here, the second ever Christmas themed bed skin. You've even got Frosty's collection. So, okay, I can't really complain too much, but I don't really see anything super stand out. I expect all of these skins to go down in price basically. So what's the usual routine with Christmas skins? Typically, it goes out of season pretty quickly as we go through January, February, and then into March. Prices tend to drop off. But it's usually around March and April where it doesn't get any lower. It can't keep going down. At some point, it has to start recovering. So usually around March and April, it reaches its lowest point, and then from there, the Christmas skin will just slowly start to rise and rise and rise, eventually until next Christmas. And then next Christmas, you could potentially see all of these skins double or even triple in price. So Christmas skins actually tend to be very reliable if you know when to jump in, or rather know what prices to offer with a barter. So yes, it's expected everything here is going to go down in price. But if you look at it again around March time, probably a great time to start looking around and pick some of these up and just sit and wait. So, okay. I might have not been super enthusiastic, but with all due respect, again, it's like out of season. So let's just quickly go remind ourselves, with it being a new Rust Store, of course, I'm going to make some predictions. Honestly, the first thing that caught my eye would have been Frosty's large box. A very interesting transparent design. So let's hop back over to here. Looking pretty sweet. But there is a bit of a problem. In the past, we've had the fridge and we've had the locker. The fridge comes out, it doubles in price. The locker comes out, oh, it goes in quarters. Like... It loses so much of its value, it goes down to about like a third of its price. So what is to become of this very transparent large box? Well, I was rolling with the expectation that surely it couldn't be too bad. Surely you'll sell just as much as these two and it'll probably be a-okay. So I was hopeful and it looked cool, and we don't have many transparent large boxes, do we? So I thought, okay, yeah, sure, you'll drop off. But here's to expecting that it'll work out right in the future and potentially doubles in price. So maybe it'll go all the way down to like less than $1. Hopefully it goes all the way back up to its Rust Store price, maybe even above and beyond. But I had some reasonable high hopes for it, as I would have with the gingerbread garage door. This is a pretty wacky looking design, oh yes indeed. Indeed, I didn't mean to go to the Steam Market page just yet. There you go, that's what I meant to do. Yep. So that's a cool looking design. You don't normally see that for Christmas, do you? But it happened, it looks cool, and designed by a very, very talented batch of people. So here's hoping we'll see a collection continuation next year. But yeah, that's a very nice standout looking garage door. And yeah, I thought, okay, like most Christmas garage doors, and yes, we have seen quite a lot of them, I would be surprised if you potentially go all the way down to less than $1. But then, well, once it's December time again, I wouldn't be surprised if you potentially go up slightly above its Rust Store price. So again, knowing that, I've got to work around that. So, okay, I'm optimistic about you. I'll also have to keep an eye on you. Now, I also would have talked about the gingerbread wooden double door. In the past, we have had another Christmas wooden double door. It actually worked out very nicely. I had some reasonably high hopes with it. We did see quite a lot of wooden double doors being accepted earlier in the year, August 2025, yep. Suddenly, lots of wooden double doors. Some of those suffered, kind of went down in price a bit. But I should just quickly remind you, even back then, we're starting to notice the prices were improving. So, okay, I was reasonably optimistic about this. It's quite a story about that. We'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. So, okay, cool. And then with all the other skins, they'll look reasonably alright. Another transparent aim sight handmade LMG. Yeah, it's the lowest selling skin. The second ever Christmas bed skin to be accepted. Surely in anticipation to next year's Christmas, people will probably want you, approach you, desire you. Well, that's definitely a good consideration. So, alright, cool. How about we go ahead then and talk about the first 24 hours of sales? So, it was actually quite alright. It wasn't like dead. Top selling skin, Gingerbread Raid, Garage Door, 8,400 subscribers. Lowest selling skin, Christmas Candy Handmade LMG, just barely over 2,000 subscribers. Well, I'm fine. Again, still expecting all of this to go down in price. It was quiet, a lot more quieter compared to the previous week. In fact, I even mentioned it here. And you can even see what this guy says. I do not think any of these skins will turn a profit at all. Most of these seem low effort. Yeah, fine. But yeah, if a lot of people are kind of expecting them to drop off, you would imagine a lot of people don't really want to go near them that much, aka not that many sales. It's going to be March and April, right? March and April is where we expect them to truly reach their lowest point. Right then, so cool. How about we go ahead and yap about how we approach the skins with the abnormals. Now, this one's going to be a little bit awkward because, well, I'm actually recording this 6 hours earlier before abnormals because abnormals would have appeared New Year's Day, literally New Year's Day. So I wasn't around for that. I didn't care too much about the store. Again, I'm sorry, but I didn't even write down the prices I suggest. But I can confirm to you, with 18,400 subscribers at this specific point, I would have suggested only around $1 for that garage door. All the other skins will be a bit awkward because I don't have prices and whatnot, but yeah, I do apologise. I don't have the prices, but if there were to be a week with this, Christmas week 2 probably would hurt the least. So I do apologise. I'm very sorry about that. But I basically said it. I expect all of these to go down in price. I expect them at least to lose about a third of their value after about a month or so. Well then, why don't we go ahead and look at the outcomes? How did everything turn out? Let's get a good look. Gingerbread Raid Garage Door. This ended up with just over 20,000 subscribers, but how's it look right now? And again, I do apologise for accidentally showing this a little bit too early. Anyway, yeah, it's $1.27. So as you might notice, the highest barders are basically $1. Not too bad. Seems a lot of people thought it could go even lower. I have actually picked up a bunch of these with barders already. I did around $1. I think I might have accidentally done a little bit higher. Again, currency exchanges fluctuate all the time. America's been a bit funny. So, yes, I do believe I have picked up a bunch of these. I'm not upset with that. I'll sit on them. I'll wait. I know it will go back up to its rust or price. Fingers crossed. But it's only got 51 listings. It's not looking like it's got big fat stacks of quantity. That's fine. In the lead up to next Christmas, I can see this working out quite all right. But that's the problem. Unfortunately, it's not Christmas, is it? So at the very least, you've got to keep an eye out for these skins now. I'm reminding you to go back and look at these again. You probably want to wait another month or so. Chances are this might drop off still a little bit more. But you've got to consider making some moves. Christmas skins are reliable. Out of all the holiday skins, it's typically only Christmas skins that actually rise up in price in anticipation to the next, well, Christmas. So Halloween for next Halloween? Not really. Easter for next Easter? Not really. Christmas? Yes. So, did you actually pick up any yourself with a barder? Feel free to comment below. Let's see what happens with this. But yes, I do believe that could work out quite nicely. So, yeah, cool. Leave it at that. Frosty's Chest. This ends that with just over 15,000 subscribers. In comparison to the other skins, I can confirm to you, the fridge had just over 22,000 subscribers. The locker had just over 16,000 subscribers, almost 17,000. And yet, it's lost over half of its value. Now, if I could actually look at it on the Steam market, unfortunately, I don't actually remember what price I would have suggested. If it were me right now, chances I would have said like 80 cents to $1.20. And I'm looking at this right now, and well, I mean, the bars are looking pretty sweet. Not looking like it's doomed. I don't know if I've actually bought a bunch of these, but what do you reckon? Could it rise up in price ever so nice in the future? Well, got to consider making a move around March or April time. It's looking like it's actually sitting at around $1.40. It's just a few stragglers here. Maybe that is the case, but there's only 39 listings at the moment. I'm sure we could potentially see this actually improve eventually. But as of now, it's still trending downwards. So it looks like it could still get cheaper. Keep an eye out for this. Things could look pretty interesting in the future. But again, look at it again in about a month's time, around March time. So, all right, cool. Maybe you could work out quite nicely. Maybe it'll end up like the fridge. Hopefully. AK-47, I would have just said 60 cents to 80 cents. And right now, you're sitting there at about 80 cents, aren't you? Yeah, that is the case. Yep. So the bars are basically only going up to about like 76 cents and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, Christmas-themed AK-47s, we haven't seen many of them actually work out quite all right. Looks nice. It's honestly a very appealing, lovely looking design. It's just, yeah, it's Christmas-themed. It's our season. People won't care. But chocolate can be eaten any day of the year. It's still a Christmas skin. I don't trust sheep matadors as nice investments, so I wouldn't have thought that much about this. Only 2 sales in the past 24 hours. That just goes to show how in demand it is. But yeah, that's dropped off. You have gone down. It's just very straight. People don't seem to care. Sorry to say, I don't gloat about it. It's just, yeah, I mean, it was easy to see and it's lost half its value, so... But the scarf poncho, this was a bit of a funny one. I didn't really talk too much about this earlier, but as you might notice with its design, it's a scarf. It should have had the tactical gloves come with it. Like, it had big, fat, chunky mittens. It was called the Keep It Warm collection. But no, Face Punch decided to only accept the poncho for some reason. Anyway, basically, if this were to get sequels in the future, how would people know it's the same skin? It's referred to as the Scarf Poncho. So if there were to be a sequel, would it be the Scarf Collection? Yeah, so that didn't do any favours, did it? No. But honestly, looking at this right now, sold for 99 cents, it's not doing too bad. It's really not doing too bad. So at the moment, 87 cents in the Steam market, 35 listings. It's honestly not doing too bad. The barders are okay. It has just basically been existing. Hasn't really done that much. Bit of a slow trend downwards, but at some point it won't go down anymore. So keep an eye out. Honestly, for just a fun, silly poncho design for around Christmas time, that honestly looks like it could go very well with like a snowman head and whatnot. So, okay, maybe. Not doing too bad, especially compared to the other skins. We haven't seen all of them, but I can tell you that's actually one of the better performing skins. Keep an eye out for that. We could see some interesting combinations, just some interesting fun sets to wear with it. Gingerbread Man Saw. So, yeah, it's another weapon, isn't it? It was fine. It's all nice and gingerbread. We've had gingerbread weapons in the past, but again, Christmas themed, they go down in price. What do we have right here? It's $1. So I would have said 60 cents to 80 cents for this. Sorry to say, but yeah, I didn't really expect that much. Gingerbread Rock. So we've had quite a lot of gingerbread skins over the many years, and we've had quite a lot of Christmas rock skins in the past. This right here, with its very goofy looking face and whatnot, I just kind of didn't really expect too much of it. So as you'll notice with the barders, it's basically just over $1. I very likely would have suggested maybe around halfway. Rock skins for Christmas, they actually do kind of work out quite nicely. Look at this again in about, 10 months time, Hedge? No, let's say about half a year's time, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised around November time that probably starts progressing quite nicely. Will it go up in price and become a ridiculous profit? No. Will it recover its restore price? Most likely. I could see that happening. And it also didn't sell that much. Right now there's only 9 listings. Doesn't look like it'll get any worse. Keep an eye out for that. That's actually looking pretty sweet. So, alright, cool. And then with all the other skins here, so as I said, as I mentioned earlier, this I can't get. Can you appear? I can't get the thing to appear. What? That's weird. So if I click you and then go this way, thank you. That's a bit weird. Yes, part of the Ice Vortex collection, which I can showcase to you right now. It's a deplorable set, but even back then, the other skins weren't exactly doing super great. Oh, and a Satchel Charge. So I kind of like was prepared for this to drop off. If I can record the previous week's bed, I said, let's just go about halfway. We actually want to try and pick up some of these. We truly believe it could actually recover and do quite nicely in anticipation to next year's Christmas. I would have thought the exact same thing with this. So as of now, there's only 2 Christmas-themed beds. This only has 23 listings. In fact, let's just go to the previous week as well. How's that crunchy bed holding up right now? So let's go get a look at you. How many listings? Only 19. So picture this. In anticipation to Christmas 2026, if this gets bought out, And if this gets bought out, oh, they're easily rising up in price. They're easily becoming a much better profit. So, okay. We'll see what becomes of that. But they're in very interesting spots, very interesting positions. And here's hoping they only improve. So, okay, cool. Cool. So, best of luck. With the small box, I know it was part of a collection, but I wouldn't have thought that much about it. We literally had a very cool looking Slade design with the previous week. Sorry about this, my nose playing up. Oh. But yes, only 13 listings. Not looking that bad. But if people start to decide selling a lot more of them when times get bad around March and April, the Easter dip, okay, you could see the price dropping off, couldn't you? But again, with the other portion of the skins over to here, they did sell quite a lot less compared to the others, so maybe a sheer lack of sales could lead to it actually succeeding quite nicely. We shall see. Right, so there is one odd one out. There's one skin that's actually doing good right now, and that's the Gingerbread Wooden Double Door. But it's not because of demand. What you see right here, this skin was actually manipulated, like pretty quickly, just after it became marketable. So it wasn't super easy to notice. In fact, I don't think the skin was actually, that wasn't abnormal. So you wouldn't have noticed like early weird interest and whatnot. So 53 listings at the moment. It is above its Rustore price, but then you look over to here, and you might notice the bars is a bit odd. Suddenly it just picks up, suddenly it just goes higher. Look at the sales history. Huh. What? It's going up in like steps. And it's going... So what happened here was this wooden double door, it didn't really sell that much. So manipulators noticed. They took advantage. They grabbed as much as they could, yep. They likely would have the majority of the stake, majority of the stock overall, sorry about that, a massive stake in the quantity. Let's go with that, yes. And they could manipulate the price then. They could make this appear to be super valuable. They could put down a lot of fake buy orders. If I can recall, they pushed it all the way up to about $10. I even made a short video talking about this. But what most likely has happened now is that they've already traded them over to a trading site. One poor, unfortunate third-party trading site has most likely picked up a bunch of these because they thought they were worth around $10 each. And what the manipulators do is they trade them for actual genuinely in-demand skins, like a big grin, or maybe some Counter-Strike knives and whatnot. Oh. So, looking at it now, this seems to be its actual value. Without the pump going on, it instantly drops off. This is what happens with a lot of pumps. I'm not sure what third-party site has ended up with all of these. I'm not sure they're very happy right now. That's probably not a very fun time for them. But that was a manipulation. Just to confirm, that was purely a manipulation. So, with the remaining skins, do we see a manipulation with them as well? No. Christmas-themed weapons. Gingerbread bow. Part of the gingerbread collection from Mr. Faze, if I can recall. Well, it didn't really matter because it's down to $1. That would have been a 60-cent to 80-cent buy order, and it doesn't look like it's going to improve anytime soon. Unfortunately, with Christmas-themed weapons, they tend to drop off pretty badly. It's usually deplorables in Christmas clothing and armor skins that actually work out quite nicely, especially with sequels, 100%. So Xmas Blast Double Barrel Shotgun, what price did you sell for again? $2. Well, now you're down to half. Oh dear. So, by default, especially of holiday-themed weapons and tools, I usually always go about like 60-cent to 80-cent, unless it's like a hammer and something. For Halloween, we had that glow-in-the-dark hammer, if you can recall. That worked out quite right, didn't it? Yep. But unfortunately, yet again, another transparent aim sight handmade LMG appears for Christmas, and it doesn't work out very nicely. So yep, with the previous week, what did we see? We had the Elven-made handmade LMG. That did just under 7,000 subscribers, down 57%. And over to here, Christmas Candy handmade LMG, down 57%. What? So, yeah. I'm rolling with the expectation that people don't actually appear to like the handmade LMG. They've got some very nice, approachable, affordable, transparent aim sight options, and they're still suffering and crashing and burning and burning and burning. Maybe it could improve with only 12 listings. But yeah, that's not exactly doing super great at the moment. If anything, take a look at all the handmade LMGs whilst we're here. So here we are. I can't click it. There you go. Temple's doing all right. Where's the Blackout? Blackout's only down by 9%. But yeah, they're not looking super great. They're not looking super fantastic. So yeah, transparent aim sight couldn't save it. Not looking good, is it? No. So that's basically everything. We expected everything to drop off, and it has. I mean, it's as expected. We didn't expect that happening though. But give it time, I wouldn't be surprised that slowly goes back down and below its restore price. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much a wrap. Only about 20 minutes long. Wow. But again, we knew how it was going to go, but it could still get worse. So let's just give you like a final talking point. Keep an eye on these. Give it maybe another month. Look at them again and make a decision. Perhaps these might not instantly double in price, but eventually. It's a long-term wait. But Christmas skins are reliable. I've talked about them many times. I literally have it in my Rust Economy 101 series. Talked about how successful it is. You might have to sit and wait, but the rewards, oh, they are delicious. So, okay, cool. Understood. How about we have a nice little sneak peek for next week then? New Year's Day, 2026, January 1st, 2026. Oh, space theme skins with the somewhat recent introduction of the space theme building skin. We also happen to have the LR300, don't forget. So that's looking pretty sweet. An interesting looking black AK-47. A very interesting looking Thompson. Oh, Thunder Gold returns. Tempered handmade LMG. Another handmade LMG. Night Demon returns with some primitive skins. Oh, look. Another pair of tactical gloves. Abyss tools. Wild Hunt bed. Honestly, not a bad looking restore for the first restore of the year. But how much was it going to sell? Because there was a lot of people playing right at this specific time. Over 240,000 people. So, well then. That's going to be an interesting thing to discuss next week. So, with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to comment below. Have you actually picked up anything with Abada so far? And are you optimistic? Because last year's Christmas, or rather, well, this Christmas, it was actually pretty good. There was actually a lot of demand for Christmas skins. So here's hoping it happens all over again. Here's hoping we have another very successful post-Christmas as well. Right, so that. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.